In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 things you can do before New Game Plus, so you'll be ready to breeze through New Game Plus. The first thing is to pick the herbs in the Corvo Bianco greenhouse. These are the only herbs that allow you to transform blues to greens to reds among mutagens. So there's three different types of herbs. You want to pick all three of these herbs in the herb garden, because you're going to lose access to the herb garden as soon as you start New Game Plus. You won't have the Deed to Corvo anymore, and you won't have access to Toussaint for a long time in New Game Plus. The first 8 things I'm going to talk about are things that you can do very quickly at the very end of your first playthrough. Second is buy rare alchemy ingredients. And get the mutagen transmutator formulas. You want to visit the perfumery off the main square in Beauclair, and this guy will sell you the formulas to transform greens to blues, and you keep those formulas. So in general, you keep your alchemy stuff, so all the stuff you've brewed in alchemy you keep, but you do not keep any of your crafting diagrams, right? So if you have anything that you would like to craft, you've been waiting to craft, you want to craft that, you can keep your physical stuff, but you can't keep your crafting diagrams. You have to get them all new in New Game Plus. But you keep all your potions and decoctions, and so you want to be brewing those. The other things is you want to kind of get your physical stuff taken care of. That you want to convert all your Orens and Florens into Novigrad crowns. So why do you want to do this? Because you're not going to have access to Novigrad for several levels unless you swim there right after entering Velen. Most people won't do that, but I think that's a decent thing to do. But there's going to be a long time before you can convert those Orens and Florens, and so you might as well convert them one last time before you leave. The next big thing is to take a potion of clearance on because one of the big problems is that when you go to New Game Plus, that your mutagens don't stack, and this has happened to me. It was a huge problem. It meant that I had to do lots of hours of mutagen farming on the whale graveyard in Skellige, whereas I ended New Game with plenty of mutagens to fill out my entire mutagen tree. So the idea that what you want to do is that you want to put all your ability points in the mutagen tree that you got from Embracing the Strange, and by doing that you can store the mutagens in a way they won't disappear in New Game Plus. I'd also recommend slotting all your greater reds in the 4 slots in the normal slots, because the greater reds are so rare. The other thing is that you want to kind of convert those green mutagens and the blue ones and everything, so that you only have like one of each. Now you may have so many mutagens you'll have more than one of each, but you want to have like one green lesser, one green normal, one green greater, one red lesser, one red normal, one red greater in those slots that are not taken up by the character tree. So you've got all your mutagens, and those stacks will all go to 1 for many users. I think it's definite if you're doing a PC when you do New Game Plus. And this is I did this in 2019 version 1.32. That is the newest version. When I bought it in the fall of 2019, still had this glitch, and I don't think CD Projekt Red's going to ever fix it. And the problem is you will not find out about this because you don't have access to your character panel until a ton of cutscenes. So unless you're skipping through all the cutscenes, you won't realize this. You'll be like hours and hours into the new game, and you'll be sorely, sorely disappointed.
The sixth tip is really simple, but it gets a lot of people and it aggravates them a lot. Is that all the stuff that you put on the sword racks and the walls and the armor racks will not go to NG Plus. The only way it goes into NG Plus is if you put it in your stash. So you want to clear out all your walls and put that stuff in NG Plus and stash it. So if it's not in the stash, if it's not in your inventory, it will not go to NG+. Everything in Corvo will disappear if you don't stash it or you don't put it in your inventory. You want to go around and get all the paintings and everything else before you start New Game Plus.
The seventh thing I think that you should do when you're starting right before you start a new game plus, you should expend all charges in your mutagenerator. So you get this mutagenerator at the end of Blood and Wine. It's left on your bedside table at Corvo from your friend Regis, right? And for every 100 monsters or men you kill, I think, you get one greater mutagen of a random color. You want to do all those charges, and you want to expend all those charges because it's seen as a quest item. So quest items will not transfer, right? So you want to make sure that you get all those mutagens, and you will next want to convert all your wraith mutagens, which you'll have a big stack of because you kill a lot of wraiths in the game. You want to convert all those wraith mutagens into greens, and potentially you might want to convert some of the rarer mutagens so that you only have one extra of them. So, but you should wait on that until you brew all the decoctions and potions before you start converting any rare mutagens. So the last tips are kind of long-term tips, right? So you want to brew all the potions and decoctions. This is kind of a long-term thing, and it'll take you, many hours, many missions to do this. To get all those missing rare mutagens, like the Troll mutagen or the Archgriffin mutagen, the Ancient Leshen mutagen, all those rare mutagens, so you can brew all your potions and decoctions, because with the alchemy skills, your potion tolerance goes up by the number of potion and decoctions you have, and the more potions and decoctions you brewed, the more alchemy tolerance you have. And if you're using a Euphoria build, which is probably the strongest build, then that'll be good. That'll make you stronger. The other thing is you want to get the rare swords, right? You can get those rare swords right before the end. So Aerondite is a real pain to level up. It takes a long time to level up. I talk about that at length in my best 5 swords in The Witcher 3. But it's easier if you pick it up at the end of New Game Plus, so you don't have to level it up. It takes like over 500 hits with it without taking damage to level it up in each level. You also probably would like to do the Blood Simple mission with Oriana and the Orphanage during the Night of the Long Fangs, but not pick up the Hen Geideth Sword in the chest. So whether you do the Unseen Elder path or you decide at the last minute to do Sienna's path, you get that choice. You can get the key to the Unseen Elder's cave, and then just not do that path. You go down the path of 1,000 Fables, and beyond Hillendale. And I recommend doing that anyways. You get some cool armor and swords if you go down that path. And of course, spoiler, there might be a happier ending in the land of 1,000 fables. So, but since you're watching a new game thing, you probably already know that. There's some other swords that you probably want to wait until the end. So you probably want to do the Tufo Monster contract at the end. That will give you one more potion, which is the Shaelmaar bait. But it'll also give you the sword Ami, which I think if it's at the same level is probably a better level a better sword for most fights because of its bonuses. Rather than Aerondite. Aerondite's really good if you have to kill a lot of foes at once. But if the fight's only going to last a few hits, if they're at the same level, then they'll be good. So I picked up Aerondite and Ami at level 60, and I got Ami at 60 from the Tufo Monster when you loot the Tufo Monster, and then I got Aerondite right at level 60. Now, one other tip I will give you with NG Plus is that your level in NG Plus is going to be the equivalent of level 1 in the first game. So if you start NG Plus at level 55, then your level 1 will be level 55. And if you want to get the legendary Ursine armor, which is normally level 20 in the game, the first playthrough, you're going to have to wait until level 74, which is 19 levels above your current one. So even though it's a level 20 thing in the main game, it's not 20 levels above where you start NG Plus. It's 19 levels because you start the main game at 1. So the mistake I made when I was leveling up, and also when I picked up the swords, was that I was thinking if I wanted level 100 Witcher armor, then I needed to grind until level 60. But no, I needed to grind to level 61. And so I've still not started NG Plus, and I picked up the swords just a little bit too early, one level too early. But that's okay, because you're going to end up, in most cases, you're not going to get Aerondite. You're not going to keep leveling up Aerondite forever, and you're just going to you're going to upgrade swords probably through the Witcher schools in New Game Plus. Okay, thanks for watching. Good luck with your NG Plus playthrough. Let me know how it goes. I'm Linus Wilson. Subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss our next video.